Welcome back to another What If live stream. Today we're getting a part 2 of one of my what ifs that I'm going to keep on the live streams with, and it's going to be the what if female Deku was vinyl, was present Mike's niece. Part 2, you'll get that today. You also get, drum roll please, you get What If Deku Had Bendy's Powers Part 1. Now, I originally planned for what if Enel was on here too? What if Deku was Enel? Then I remembered I already made part 1 and possibly another part of the series, so I thought it would be anticlimactic just to re-say it all and all that. So unfortunately, y'all won't be getting that one on today's live stream. But I do plan to do this, and what if female Deku was vinyl? What if female Deku was vinyl, present Mike's niece? So I really hope y'all enjoy. Oops. Really hope y'all enjoyed today's series for today. I have been working hard on several things, actually. I hope you've been enjoying the things I've been doing. So, I think I'm gonna start off with the what if Deku had Bendy's powers. This one was named by a subscriber named Isaiah. Let me see if I can remember his entire full channel name, and I'll tell it to y'all. Isaiah Tyvion. I believe that was his channel name. I could be getting it wrong because I admit I am terrible. Oh, my throat. Sorry. I am terrible with remembering names. It's one downside I have. So if I don't remember your name will be in the description of your recommended story. So thank him for the idea. The trailer will drop, I believe the 24th should drop, the trailer for this series. And I'll go ahead and say the release date of part 1 for you. Should be the 26th is when part 1, this part, will be released on my channel. So, I hope you all are ready for this. I've been looking forward to doing this series, but let me give you a little bit of a hint why I've been not doing a lot. Just working on minor details, thumbnails, and all that. Mainly because I spent like a week making a whole bunch of videos, preparing for the rest of this month, and I'm 4 short for completing the month. And one of these will fill in the month, because the vinyl series is not dropping until next month in September. And because of my recklessness of making so many videos in a short frame of time, in some of the videos you may have pauses due to me overexerting my voice. I do apologize for that. I do hate when that happens, but sometimes you just gotta work around what you've got. I do have a water bottle to help, and hopefully we will not have any interruptions, meaning my throat doesn't swell up or something. Dry out. But without further ado, do any of you have any questions? If no questions, I will start the what if immediately. No questions? Alright. Let's get into this what if. What if Deku had Bendy's powers? Now, we start this off where I left off in the trailer, but it's going to be the entrance exam. So he's at the entrance exam, hyped up and all that. Ready for, well, a new day. To become a hero, be in the hero course. He's happy, excited, he has that little cartoon smile. He has black hair, and he walks in. Of course, he still does the trip scene, and he falls, like, cartoonish style onto the ground, but is caught by Uraraka. As he lifts up, as he just giggles. Hey, who's lifting me up? As he looks over and sees, well, Uraraka. Sorry, I just thought you were going to fall, and I thought you needed some assistance. As he smiles. Why, thank you, by the way. Could you please put me down, though? As she deactivates her quirk, and as he just splats on the ground in a puddle of ink. As she is just, well, in shock, as he just simply reforms himself. Well, that was certainly a interesting twist, as he does, like, jazz hands forever. As that causes Uraraka to smile. You're funny. Why, thank you. Now, I believe, as he looks at his watch. Oh, as his eyes come out of his head. Oh, we're late! As he quickly runs off, Looney Tunes style, towards the entrance exam writing portion. As he arrives at the writing portion, as he's looking around, ooh, so many promising students. I wonder what all their quirks are. As he's looking at all the potential classmates and all that, in the room. Now, I don't know how many students took the written portion or the exam. So there could have been multiple rooms of written portions. I don't know how UA does things for that. So I'll just say they're in this one huge room. As the test starts, as he's writing the paper, as he's just looking through, that's not right. As he starts fixing some grammar mistakes, purposely put in there by Nezu, by the way. He starts fixing them, and then he just draws a cartoon bendy smile right beside the last, well, question. And as he's the first one to be done, as he hands over his test. I'm finished. As President Mike's like, little listener, are you sure you're done? That only took about 30 minutes. Yes, I'm confident. As he hands his paper over to President Mike, who starts looking at it. Of course, he gets all the questions right. Fix the grammar mistakes. Sends it to Nezu. Nezu's quite impressed. Now, he goes and go to the, well, practical test. The one with the robots. As he's waiting in that room, just typing on the desk, waiting for participants to finish the writing exam. He ends up staying there for about, roughly an hour or two. As he's just, well, messing with a pencil, just tossing it up and down. As they see someone, sees Kendo. As she was another person who passed the test. As he goes up and walks, as he can't talk to someone in a while. As they're just sitting there waiting. Hello, as she looks over and sees, well, Deku. What are you doing here? Oh, I just thought it would be nice to bring up some conversations, and we're here at the exam site waiting for President Mike to finish with the written portion of the exam. Well, I guess you're right. You know what, talk if someone may be actually good before the exam, the practical portion starts. Yeah, so I heard there is this new, restaurant or something around near UA that opened up. It's quite popular. I heard of that too. As they just start chit chatting about stuff. Uh, like popular places, UA, and heroes. As they're just chatting and all that, getting along, as then President Mike comes into the room. Well, welcome all to, the practical portion. Now first, I'll tell you about the robots. As he goes through the robots, and Ida does the same thing with the 0-pointer, saying, like, how can you just go over the 0-pointer and all that. As Bendy Deku simply does this. Sends ink towards, Ida's mouth, just covering it. Well, maybe if you let him speak, he would have time to announce the 0-pointer. As President Mike says, "Thank you, young listener. But may you please deactivate your quark?" "Yes, sorry," as the ink on Ida's face comes off. As they get ready, and he tells about the 0-pointer as they go to the exam site. Of course, Uraraka is still stressed and all that. As he goes over to talk to her, Ida does the same thing, stepping in, saying, "You're gonna ruin her chances, or you're going to try to talk over to her." All that. As they're talking all that, the gates start to open, and President Mike starts to do the countdown. Benji just surfs on his ink straight through the gate door. As he's just going straight through. Like, basically, imagine he's on an ink surfboard, surfing away. I wanted to fit that into the video somehow. It took me quite literally an hour to find a place for that little stunt. As he's just surfboarding away, taking out the robots along his way. He's like, this is a piece of cake, as he puts on some sunglasses while he's, surfing on ink. Just going through the street. Of course, the walls are getting all inked up and all that, but no property damage. The only things getting destroyed are the robots. As he's just surfing away, acting all cool. As he's, then sees a building ahead. Oh, that's gonna ruin the fun. You know what? Up we go. As then the ink literally just hits the wall. And just creates an elevator, as we see Bendy just in the elevator. As we see another, ink duplicate, saying, which floor would you like to go to? Let's see. Aha, top floor, please. Right away. As he presses a button as they're going through the top floor, and it starts playing some elevator music. "So how's your day been?" "You know, the usual, just hanging around in this elevator." "Well, it's good to hear that another ink person is alright. You know you've created me using your quark, right?" "Of course I did." As they reach the top floor, "We have arrived at your destination. You may go back in the ink now," as he just disappears. As he simply just starts walking onto the, roof, and starts looking over. "I wonder how many points I have." As he looks back at the, way he went. And it's just the walls, the road is all covered in ink. As we go to the, the student's room, the observation room, where they're watching the students and the applicants. As Aizawa and all that, isn't it using that quark's going to get other students caught up into his ink? As he says this, Nez says, "Actually, no. Take a closer look." As all the ink is only hurting the robots, as he rewind the footage a bit. Apparently, he has a very good mastery over his quark. And he's currently just, he changes the screen, as we see, Deku just sitting on top, sunbathing, of a building. How many points does he have for him to do that? As we go to the points, and he has about 200 points from just literally surfing throughout the entirety of the entrance exam. You know what? The sunbathing is always a good thing. As then he hops up cartoonish style and just looks out as he hears rumbling as the zero pointer has been released. Oh, that may be a problem. What to do? I don't want to have to use a resort to that form. As he's just watching, as then he hears a scream, as it's Uraraka who's trapped under some rubble. As, oh no, I gotta do something quickly. What to do? You know what? He basically just makes a car out of ink, gets in, buckles his seatbelt, tally ho, as he starts moving forward, driving away. As he then rams into the foot of the zero pointer, basically doing nothing. As then he hops out of the car, and it just turns back to ink. As he goes over to Uraraka and makes kind of like a jackhammer, and just starts destroying the rubble. As he then grabs Uraraka and, well, goes away. As the zero pointer is about to throw a fist, he creates all this ink, basically holding the zero pointer in place. As he then just goes take her straight to Recovery Girl. It's like, are you alright? As Uraraka's a bit flustered and all that, and says thank you. No problem, after all, that's what heroes should do, as he gives a bright smile. Well, anyway, I've got to get home. And he starts to go walking off. As, of course, he goes home and they're going over the tally results and all that. As Deku actually got a lot of rescue points from stopping the zero pointer. And he didn't destroy the zero pointer, I want to point that out. He just simply held it in place. As he's home and all that, he's just waiting for his letter. Of course, a little while later, a letter comes in. As it's from UA. As he has his fingers crossed, come on, please be the acceptance letter, please be the acceptance letter. As he opens it, as he goes into his room that has, instead of All Might pictures and all that, it's like Bendy, the old cartoonish. Because he like resembles his quirk to the old character Bendy. Because he likes Bendy. As he has his own drawings of Bendy, his own posters, all this old stuff that no one really wants. So he got it for a cheap price. But as he opens it, it is the acceptance letter from All Might, as he's happy and all that. Now, I wonder who's going to be in my class. As he starts contemplating through the people he had met, probably that Ida guy, definitely Bakugo, maybe Uraraka, maybe Kendo as well. So many good people that could be in my class. And not expecting about like all the other 100 participants. There could be plenty more, but who are the most likely choices here? Well, I guess I'll just have to wait and see. As he pulls a card out from, the ink. Oh, I didn't expect to get this back. As it was his invitation letter, to get into UA. As he looks on the back, as he reads, please tell me this is your quirk, and I'm not saying this to some sort of evil demon. Bear in mind, if you reply, please tell me this is your quirk, or else I will bring an exorcist to my building. Well, I guess I scared the person I sent this to. I'm going to have to write a formal apology about that. As he's excited and, well, he goes to sleep and we go about a time skip of a week. And it's going to be the first day of UA. He's going to get there. He's going to arrive. As he arrives on campus with a bright smile, and he just starts to walk cartoonish through the halls. And he's having so much joy and all that. As then we see one of his, inner personalities. As we see, the ink demon just sitting there. When will it be our time to shine? If I could take control right now, I would destroy this place. As then we hear some monstrous noises. Arrgh. Yes, yes. Now be quiet. As we go back to Bendy, who's just walking through the halls. This has been such a good day so far. As then he reaches the door. As his eyes pop out of his head, wow, that is a large door. As he then grabs it and opens it, and just walks in. As he's wearing the classic UA uniform. The only thing different about him in this universe is that he has black hair instead of green. As he walks to his chair and takes a seat. Of course, he noticed Ida and, well, Bakugo arguing over the desk. And Uchaka Uraraka comes in a little bit later and goes to Deku and says, "Thank you for saving my life." As he gives a bright smile, "No problem." As he's like happy and she's happy and all that because he saved her life. And they were just chit-chatting for the rest of the time. As then he looks over at, well, an orange bag on the ground. As then they hear a voice and the bell rings. As the orange bag just rises up as it reveals to be Eraserhead Shoto Aizawa. Silence, class. Class is now in session. It took you so amount of time to be silent and all that. Same thing as the anime. Now, you have to put on these uniforms and go over to the changing rooms. We are doing a little bit of... I would say this is... I can never remember it, but I believe it's the, like, training... little train thing for the first day. Core comprehension test, not quest. As Bendy just simply walks down there, grabs, and is the first one to leave. No questions asked. As Uraraka then asks, "What about orientation?" He's like, "This is the hero course. This is my class. I decide what we do. We don't need orientation." Of course, we go to the changing rooms, and of course, Mineta tries to peek into the girl's side. This time, instead of being, well, hit in the eye by Juro's quirk, the wall is actually covered with a black line, covering the hole. Because Bendy was the first one in there, so he just covered it and made it seem like the entire wall was black. So he wouldn't discover the hole. As he just goes over, quickly changes, and then is the first one out. As Aizawa is just standing there. "You got changed fast." "Of course, if you're gonna be a hero, you gotta learn to be quick." As he just gives a bright smile. "Noted." As Eraserhead thinks, he does have a very powerful quirk, and he's very proficient with it using his ink. As the rest of the class comes out about a few moments later and all that, he goes on his rant about the person that makes the lowest will get expelled. So, bear in mind that. As, of course, the first day, or the training thing happens, and, of course, Bendy Deku is the first one to go up there. Or, sorry, what if Deku had Bendy's powers? He's chosen to go up there. Alright, of course, Bakugo saying he should have gotten first, all that. This is what Deku just does. He just sends, like, a lash of wink at him, covering his mouth as he gets more angry, but can't do anything. Alright, so what do? You can use your quirk. As he simply places the ball in Deku's hand. Alright, as then he just makes a full-on tank. Yes, a tank. As he gets in it, aims it straightly upward, loads the ball. Okay, on the count of 3, we fire. As he looks back, we see like 3 other Bendies. Little Bendies just there. 3, 2, 1, fire! As they fire it directly in the sky using like the baseball or the ball was like a tank shell just yeeting itself into the atmosphere. And he gets first in the ball throw other than Uraraka, who gets infinity. And of course, in the other parts of the exam, he does pretty well. Like, simply, what, the 1 mile run or something? He just simply teleports with his ink. He does not make the highest in the jump. Like the jump upward. Side he does pretty well, but not the fastest. I can't remember the grip strength. He does pretty well in the grip strength. Can be fairly strong. I don't remember if there were any more, so please remind me in the comments of this video if there were any more than that. As that's where basically the end of that. Of course, they go back to class. They have the rest of the day just talking, chilling. And Mineta was expelled. I've never done an expulsion of a student before, so I think Mineta's the right one to choose to go. As he's just simply kicked out of UA, and Eric says, "You will have a new classmate tomorrow." As he just simply says, "Everyone can leave now." As the day has ended, as they're walking the halls, as he's just talking to Uraraka, as they run and see Kendo, as Kendo comes over and says, "Hello, Midoriya." "Well, hello, Kendo. I remember talking with you at the entrance exam." "Yes, so I thought it'd be nice to talk to you again, after all." As they had a nice chit-chat at the entrance exam. And they talk a little bit, and that's mostly where I'm going to end part 1 of What If Deku Had Bendy's Powers. Stay tuned for the 1v1. Or sorry, the 2v2 for the Heroes vs. Villain training test, Hero Course 101. Anyway, remember to like and subscribe for more. Well, first of all, I did see you in the chat there. And I have to say, oh wait, are you... Wait, was the show actually based off of? Sorry, someone put an interesting fact in the chat. I was just reading about that. So was this actually a show made in 1929? I thought it was just a game. I thought it was all based off a game, but if that's true, that changes my whole perspective on things. Now, I want to tell you an idea, which I'll do for another What If, but for this one being a recommended story, I had to run it by the person that suggested it, because I wanted to do what he wanted the most. And hopefully he likes the silliness a little bit of this. Because I wanted to make... Because Bendy seems like a silly, funny guy. So I kind of wanted to do that. So I hope the person that recommended this likes this idea. Likes how I'm doing it. Also, I'm making the Enel one. Of course it's going to be a villain one. I'm looking forward to making... I've already made the trailer... and possibly 1 or 2 parts of it already. Now we move on to the next What If, which we'll get into in a minute. I did know it was a book. I did know Bendy and the Ink Machine was a book. Sorry if you're hearing me drink water. No, I'll keep that in mind. I may actually go watch the actual thing. Now, there will be a ship for this What If series. The What If Female Deku was Vinyl Present Mike. And I had y'all choose who would be the ship. Like if I should have brought another person from MLP over, or just chose a character. So y'all said bring a character from MLP. And that one was suggested by Uchiha. Again, he's the one that recommended the What If Female Deku was Fluttershy series. Yeah, I remember you. You actually commented the other day, and I've been reading your comments. I already made part 1 on a previous live stream, so I'm going to make part 2 in this live stream. Again, I do apologize. My throat's been a little bit out of whack lately. I've been making a lot of videos. So I do apologize on that. I've had to drink a lot of water just to... And I've had to make pauses in videos, which you can tell because you can hear the click of when it stops. I do apologize about that. When those videos do release, I've had a bit of a throat issues lately. But I'm doing much better than I am. I do want to mention this. I did add a certain thing probably none of you would expect it in part 1. I did that because I want to do absolutely something hilarious for a certain event in the series. And someone actually did recommended something, and I may give a quick breathe through of what it is, as I think it was an amazing idea. So I'm going to show you what someone recommended. Someone recommended what if Shining Armor as SCP-001, the Gate Guardian. Now, he recommended a lot of MLP type content, or what if content, I could do. Which I believe I'm going to take him up on that offer. Because he put so many good ideas. If you go, it's either in, if I remember, the comment was either in What If Female Deku Was Cozy Glow Part 1 or the trailer. That's where he commented. Like, this is an amazing idea. I will do in the future. Bear in mind, I will do this in the future. But right now, I've just got 3 video series right now. What If series I am doing. Also, I already finished the Cozy Glow series. It's already waiting and scheduled. Yeah, I had fun with that series. It was a fun series for me. I love your recommended series. But after I finish the Bendy and the Enel, I'm going to move on to one of my series. And it's probably going to be the What If Vinyl series. Most likely. Will I tell you when the series ends? But anyway, I don't know much how I would make this work with the What If Shine Armor as, well, basically the Gate Guardian. But this will probably be either a 1 or 2 part series, mainly because it would be a little bit difficult of how I would do things. But I think I can make it work. But I think that's enough about this. Give me a minute, maybe I can remember the guy's name. I believe it was Darkness something. He had made a very... God of Darkness, yes. Thank you for the recommended ideas. Note, your ideas had been heard and will be looking forward to do. And I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Y'all may ask, why do I like doing the recommended stories? 1 is because some of you have these amazing ideas. And some of you want me to do certain things in your what ifs. I admit, the same guy that recommended me the what if Bendy idea, this one, what if Deku had Bendy's powers, wants me to do another one of his series with the what if Black Clover character. What if Asta? I said I could possibly... Oh, what was that? Well, anyway, I possibly will do that one in September next month. If possible. Like, You'll have to realize sometimes I am like loaded on videos. I've been trying to schedule videos and all that, so it's a rough estimate what I can get out. Because I'm trying to do some of your recommended stories, and I'm trying to do some of my stuff. And that can get a little bit difficult trying to coordinate around. Because I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Chapter 5 of the Oxley Experiments, I believe that's where I left off on Chapter 4, should be out next month, if I can get around to it. That series had me on a headache for a long time because of how I set things up. But it's one of my starting series of the stories I've made. And we are so close to 500 subscribers to where y'all will get that MLP fan-made story I've been working on. At least episode 1. Who knew making a script for the series would only... Basically, so far, I've almost finished episode 1 of the script. But I feel like it's going to be an amazing series because I had help from the bad lad Freddy, who is also known as Fred in some of my what-ifs, and in the Barrel War. So, he's been helping me out with the series a lot, putting in his ideas as well, and he's been a real helpful person in the series. But I think I've gone on right on enough for now. Do you have any questions before I get into what if female Deku was Vinyl? Present Mike's niece. The first day. I don't think we have any questions, so I'll take a quick sip of my water, and we'll get straight started. What if female Deku was Vinyl? Present Mike's niece, Part 2, the first day. Now, for the first day and all that, she walks into class. As she's like the first one to arrive because she literally lives on UA. Or in UA, in the dorms. As she's sitting in the back of the class, has her earphones in, has the classic glasses, and listening to music. Now, as she's doing this, people start to arrive a little bit later. As then, she notices someone enter the room. As she, takes off her headphones and just signals to the person. As the person looks over, as, Vinyl, I was expecting you to be here. As she walks over, sorry about that. As she had walked over and goes to Vinyl, I was expecting you to be here at all. As she simply just sign language. It's good to see you again. As she gives her a hug. As she sign languages to Octavia. As she gets out. Yes, I know. I wasn't expecting you to be here, so I'm a little bit excited. After all, we haven't talked in quite a while. As she sign language, just telling her why she's here. You're here because of your uncle? As she sign languages, yes. As she's like, oh, so that'll explain how you got here. So, question, what do you have to do to convince your mother to come all the way over here? And she gives sign language. Oh, wow, that much convincing? And she gives even more sign language. Alright, I can understand. After all, I did live near y'all for quite a time. Explain why they're friends. And they both love music. As they're talking and all that, of course, she turns over and sees, well, the sandbag or camping bag, whatever bag Eraserhead is just laying in. Sleeping bag, that's it. As she's just keeps on, well, sign languaging to Octavia. They're just chatting along. So, have you been working on your DJ skills lately, Final? As she nods her head. As she sign languages, still looking on your violin. As she says yes, as Vinyl looks down and seeing the violin case next to her. As she sign language, do you bring that everywhere you go? Not everywhere, but I do bring it several places. She sign languages, okay. As this is when Eraserhead gets up. Okay, listen, class. We're heading to the training area. And, or like, the train area where they do the Eraserhead's test. As, of course, Vinyl just gets up and just simply walks. And she just walks in out of the room, and Octavia follows. And, of course, Uraraka does the same thing, saying, what about orientation? As they go to the, changing room, and of course Mineta tries to peek, but this time, she just simply sign languages, and Octavia pulls out her violin, and the rest of the girls are confused, as she uses her quirk, which amplifies sound, as she just simply amplifies the sounds of a violin in Mineta's ears, causing him to, fall over in pain, as he's hearing high-pitched violin sounds. No one else can hear this, by the way, because she can control basically sound. As then she sign languages to Octavia to stop. And she's like, well, I guess now we don't have to worry about that little person that was trying to peek in. All that. Mineta. As they simply go to the training ground. As, of course, Mineta's not out there, and Eraserhead asks, why is Mineta not out here? As Vinyl just sign languages. He tried to peek into the girls' changing room. So I taught him a lesson. As then shivers go down Eraserhead's spine. Yeah, you know what, just let him stay there for a while. Because if you don't know, the worst thing that can happen to somebody, or to the ears, is high-pitched noises. So, yeah. And he has to deal with present mic being so loud and all that. So he kind of understands the bit of the pain. Of course, they do the test, as she simply just pulls out, or turns her headphones out, as they start, playing the DJ music as she throws the ball, and the sound literally amplifies, sending the ball yeeting into the atmosphere. So far, that it almost goes into orbit. Almost. Very close. But she does get first in the ball throw, other than Uraraka, who does get infinity because it just goes straight up. And, other than that, she gets average scores for pretty much all the others parts of the test, so that's pretty much it for the first day, as Vinyl does take Octavia to the dorms, as she does live in the dorms as well. So where are the dorms? As she gives the sign language to just follow her. As, of course, she's wearing the same outfit as in the thumbnail. As she walks over and, shows the dormitory room, or area. Oh, wow, the dormitory is quite big. As she has sign languages, this is just the first year. Wait, this is just the first years? Yes. They have dormitories for the second and third years as well. Question, is there a dormitory for the faculty? As she sign languages, yes. Man, this school's rich. As she sign languages, you should see my budget. As Octavia's like, your budget? As she just pulls out her phone, shows her her basically bank account, as it's at is imagine a really high number. These are the funds I get from my uncle. President Mike gives you this? Yes. How? As she simply just sign languages. I help with the faculty and all that, and has decided to pay me. And my uncle as well. As her jaw drops, you're getting paid while you're a student here at UA. As she just nods. Could you please take me to my room? As Vinyl does show her to her dorm room and all that. As she opens it, it's just like, well, has violins and all that. Just like a regular room you would think the character Octavia would like. As I asked the school if they could do some modifications. Because she knows what Octavia likes and all that, because they're friends. They've lived near each other for years. Well, thank you, Vinyl, for getting this all set up and all that. But question. Am I gonna hear the loud noises of DJ, or the sound of DJs in your room? As she simply sign languages. Don't worry, I already had Nezu install, well, soundproofing in my room because of what happened last time. As Octavia just simply puts her hand on her face. What happened last time? I kind of sent music blasting through the entirety of the campus. And she's like, I shouldn't be surprised about that. Question. You have some sort of deal with your uncle, don't you? Yes. May I know what that deal is? That is a secret. Guarantee you, one of these days you're going to be over the intercom just playing your DJ music. You know me so well. She says that all in sign language. Well, anyway, good night, Vinyl. As she gives a sign language saying good night, Octavia. As they both go to sleep, and we go to the, well, Hero Class 101. As, of course, they get in it and all that. And, of course, All Might comes in saying, I am here. As he tells them to get changed and all that. As Vinyl just gets up and just simply walks out, as she's just staying in her casual uniform. Or casual clothing. As she simply just walks into the area. As she just stands there and waits. As, of course, everyone comes out a little bit later. Now, I don't have a picture of what Octavia would be like in a uniform or something. So I will describe what I would imagine it to be. So it kind of would be like a classic gray suit with a violin. Imagine that. Now, of course, All Might goes over, like, the random teams and all that, and they both pick up an orb, as Vinyl and Octavia are on the same team. Of course, they're going up against Bakugo and Ida as the villains. So how are we doing this? As she starts communicating with, well, Octavia, as we go to the other students who are watching, waiting. Question, why doesn't the Vinyl girl talk? Oh, y'all don't know? As All Might speaks up. As the rest of the class doesn't know. Well, Vinyl cannot speak. She is mute. As the rest of the class is shocked. What? I thought she just didn't like talking. As Mo said, well, that would explain why she's been using sign language. I thought she was shy. No, she was born with being mute, so she cannot speak. She speaks through sign language. I see. Well, will that be a downside for communication? Actually, no, it won't. Octavia and Vinyl happen to have been old friends, so she knows how to speak sign language. Well, at least that goes. This makes them the perfect matchup for Bakugo and Ida. If y'all don't know, Octavia's quirk, involves her having to use a violin. She can send like slashes as long as she's playing the violin. She can send like slashes, musical volume, not volume, but sounds. She can even make people go to sleep by playing her violin. So imagine her just playing a violin, sending slashes, and also putting people to sleep. That will be Octavia's quirk in this. As they both communicate about the plan and all that. As then, of course, the students ask, how'd she get in here? She must have got in through recommendations. As Mo said, I didn't see her get in through recommendations. Well, if you must know, she actually got in early due to one of the faculty being her uncle. As shocking the rest of the class. Who? You know President Mike? As all of them then just get an image of President Mike, like on the exam day. Yes, that is her uncle. As they're shocked, as they're trying to figure out the resemblance between the two, as the only thing resembling that you could tell they're related are the glasses and the headphones. Alright, heroes, you may enter the building. As Vinyl and Octavia enter the building. Alright, so who's going after Bakugo and who's going after Ida? Just play your violin, she says in sign language. As she starts playing her violin, as she amplifies the sound, as Ida is just on the floor asleep, Bakugo is struggling to stay awake as he's exploding his way. Now the explosions are actually redirecting the sound wave of, well, Vinyl's quirk from Octavia as well. Because she's amplifying her sound, but the sound's being reflected by the explosions, making their own sound. Kind of canceling out the sound a little bit for Bakugo, keeping himself awake, if that makes sense. As he makes his way over towards the two. As she looks down at her little console of music that she has in her hand. As she just silently moves to Vinyl just to go get the bomb. As she does as told and starts running towards the other direction. As Bakugo starts charging at Vinyl. As she turns her earphones and starts playing a DJ song as it just makes a wall of sound as Bakugo, well, throws explosions as it just hits the wall. As he backs up a little bit, thinking that he had knocked her unconscious. As he then looks back over, seeing her, she's fine. As he tries to, well, get closer, but he face lines into a sound wall. As he starts to rub his cheek a bit, what was that? As then he notices a little physical form of sound, the wall. As, how did you do that? As she just tries to sign language, but Bakugo doesn't understand, causing him to get more angered. As Bakugo then starts trying to break the wall. As then he just uses his gauntlet move, as of course All Might does the same thing in canon. Now, he does, and it destroys the lower part of the building, breaking the sound wall, injuring Vinyl a little bit, but she managed to, well, make another one quickly to protect herself. So she did get burned a little bit. Some of, like, her sleeves got destroyed. Her arms are a little bit burnt for protecting from the blast, because it did break through that other sound wall. As she's backed up, her arms are a little bit burned. I would say 1st degree. As then the match ends as Octavia had touched the bomb. As Bakugo is angry and all that. As Vinyl, well, knows her music device was destroyed because of Bakugo, and is a little bit irritated. As she just walks off and just heads straight to the nurse. As she goes to sit in the recovery room. As the nurse is talking, wow, I didn't expect Bakugo to actually injure you all that. After all, you have a very powerful quirk. As she would sign language, but her arms are quite sore from the burns. Alright, you cannot really say anything right now because of those injuries. As she gives her arms a kiss as they recover. That should do. as she makes sign language saying thank you. As then Octavia enters the room. Vinyl, are you alright? As she looks over and just gives a thumbs up. Good, I was kind of worried when I heard that big explosion. Nothing to worry, she only got minor burns on her arms. She'll be fine. As they both give a nod. As well, thank you for helping her. It is my job as a nurse. As then we just hear a dramatic, "Where's my niece? I heard she was injured." As President Mike enters the room. As he quickly gives Vinyl a hug. As, to be fair, Vinyl's a little bit embarrassed because President Mike is literally giving her a hug in front of her best friend. As she then starts to hit his chest a little bit. Hey, what was that for? As she just pouts and looks away. You mad at me? What did I do this time? As he's just trying to find a way to cheer up Vinyl. As we see a recovery girl laughing. Man, you obviously don't know a girl's feelings, President Mike. What do you mean by that? As he just looks over dumbfounded. Well, anyway, let me take this, speaker out of here. Who are you calling a speaker? Your name is President Mike. You're pretty much a microphone. As he just hurt. You dare say that about me? As then, Vinyl, mind using your quirk? As she silently, sure, but what for? This. As she just makes a big clap, as she amplifies it, sending President Mike out of the room, destroying nothing as he just flies out of the room as the door shuts and locks. There, you shouldn't be dealing with him for the next hour. As she silently just, thank you, to the nurse. As, of course, they just leave, head back to the dormitory, and all that. And that is the end of part 2 of What If Female Deku Was President Mike's Niece. The first day. So hopefully y'all enjoyed, and can't wait for part 3. Make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, I hopefully y'all enjoyed. I had a blast making this What If. Now, I only can do 2 for today. I'm kind of on a... Don't want to make too many videos when my throat is still a little bit sore. I'll definitely save these 2 for the next live stream. So, when I do the What If Deku live stream part 22, prepare to see both of these come back. And stay tuned for more. This is one of my shorter live streams, but hopefully y'all enjoyed. And I think I will be doing a... my channel is officially over a year old now. So I may actually go back and we'll do watch my first ever series. I never got to finish. I'm still waiting to do a season 2. Mainly because I'm going to wait a while before actually doing it due to time constraint. And me wanting to do several other projects before that. So, you may see another live stream from me today, later in the day, where I listen through my very first series. Possibly. Well, anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed. I'll be back to do another live stream here shortly. Or possibly shortly. It really depends. I know y'all would like to see where I just do where is the the memes for this channel. I may actually just try to do a stream where I just make my own memes for the series of what I've done. So, if y'all want to see that, I may actually do that. No, if you get like 5 or 4 people saying in the comment section for a meme stream of my own memes I've created throughout the entirety time of the Barrel War, the Octoling Experiment story, some of my what ifs. If we get 5 people comment that, I may actually do a stream. Okay? And it'll be of pretty much memes I've created for the stream. So, it won't be long, but Well, anyway, Green Kenobi is out. Please wait for whatever I do next. And hopefully you'll have enjoyed, especially today's video.